Hello friends, welcome back to the CTXCLOUD. This is the video number 7 in our training series. So in our last video we have seen that how we can create a external DNS server and we have installed the cyber panel. Today we are going to install the firewall, which is pfSense firewall. Before we start, let me show the diagram. So this is the diagram where we are going to use in our lab. So let me tell you, so this is external DNS server which will work as a cyber panel. So we have installed the cyber panel in our last video. So our client will connect first to the cyber panel DNS, then it will send the traffic to this NIC card. So in my Hyper-V I have two NIC cards. First one is working as an WAN. So WAN means it is directly connected to the internet. The second NIC card is connected to our LAN network. So when we use our net scaler, so we will net the IPs from the firewall to our servers or net scaler, which we are going to see in our next video. So in this video we are going to install this firewall. So in firewall we have two NIC cards. First NIC card is connected to WAN, means this is connected to the internet. The second NIC card is connected to our LAN network, which is connected to our internal servers. So let me go into my Hyper-V and let's see how we can install the pfSense firewall on our Hyper-V. So first of all, you guys need to click on new, click on virtual machine, click on next. Here you guys need to give the name of firewall. I am giving the name firewall. Click on next. Here you guys need to mention how much RAM you want to give this firewall. So I am going with 2 gigs of RAM. Click on next. Here it is asking on which network you want to connect. So as of now I am connecting with LAN. So later on I will do the changes for the second NIC card. Click on next. Here it is asking how much hard disk you want to give this firewall. So I am going with 40 gigs of hard disk to this firewall. Click on next. Here you guys need to give the ISO path of pfSense. So this is like pfSense ISO. So just click on open, click on next and then finish. Now you again need to do some certain changes on the network settings. So click on settings and here you guys need to add one more network adapter. So I'm going to click on add and network adapter. Click on add. So here you guys can see that there is two network adapter attached to this VM. So the first network card is connected with my LAN network and the second which I am going to connect my WAN network. So click on OK and just power on this virtual machine. Let me connect with this console. Now you guys can see that my firewall has been booted. So click on accept and here you guys are able to see the first option, install pfSense. So I'm going to click on enter to install pfSense. Continue with the default setting, press enter with the default settings and it is auto create a BIOS boot up. So click on enter and it will start installing the pfSense firewall in a default hard disk which we have assigned the 40 gigs in our virtual machine. So let's wait for 1 or 2 minutes until the installation get finished. Now it is asking about the reboot. So click on enter and you guys can see that firewall start rebooting. So we will do some configuration once it get booted. So just wait for 1 second. So now my pfSense start booting again. So let's wait until the network adapter appears. So we are going to set up the network adapters in this firewall. So finally guys, after rebooting I'm able to see that HN10 and HN12 NIC cards connected to this firewall. and this is the MAC address of 00155D A203 and 04. So now it is asking if you are using VLANs, so I am going to press no. I am not using any VLAN. Press enter. Now it is asking enter a WAN interface name, which you need to select from HN0 and HN1. So practically which NIC card is connected to my WAN network, so you guys need to check on this virtual machine. So just go to the properties, click on settings, and here you guys can see that external WAN, and when you expand this and hardware acceleration advanced settings, and you guys can see that 04 is my WAN network, A204. So this is like A204. So the same I am going to put on this firewall. So now it is asking enter a WAN interface name. If you will press, it will automatically detect, otherwise manually you need to enter. So it is best if you know that what is your WAN interface, and manually enter that. So HN1 is my WAN interface, 04 you guys can have A204, and same as I shown on like previously. So press enter. Now it is asking enter the LAN interface. So HN1 is my WAN interface, then HN0 is my LAN interface. Press enter. So now you guys can see that it picked it assigned the interfaces WAN HN1 and LAN HN0. Do you want to proceed? Press enter. Yes. So now it will configure these two interfaces as in WAN, where it will pick the traffic from the internet, then it will translate these interfaces to our LAN network, which we are going to study in our next videos. So just wait for 1 or 2 minutes until this setup finished. So now my old setup has been completed, and it is giving the LAN HN1 and the IP address is 192.168.1.1. So let's try to access this IP first. 192.168.1.1. Press enter and click on proceed. So this is the GUI interface of your firewall. Click on admin, and pfsense is the default username and password for this firewall. Click on next. Click on next. Here you guys need to give the host name of your firewall, so I am going to give firewall. Now it is asking what is your domain, so my domain is CTXCLOUD. Do you want to give your primary DNS server? So this is my primary DNS server. Click on next. Here it is asking the times host name, so I am going with default. Click on next. Here it is asking, do you want to use an DHCP to assign the networks? So as of now I am going with the default settings. Click on next. So this is my LAN and network address 1.1, which we have accessed right now. Here it is asking to change the password of firewall, because right now it is on default password. Click on next and click on reload. So it will take like few seconds to reload, so let me pause. Okay, this finished. Click on finish. So now we need to do some more settings on this firewall. First we need to remove the DHCP from here, because we have already DHCP server running in our LAN environment. So we do not want that firewall will assign the automatic IPs to our clients. So first of all you guys need to click on DHCP server. Just uncheck this and click on save, because that task I want that my DHCP server will do. Now again click on DHCP relay. So it is not checked, that's fine. click on DHCP6. So just refresh it, DHCP6 server. So uncheck this and just uncheck this DHCP6 and click on save. Make sure you will uncheck both IPv4 DHCP and IPv6, otherwise your firewall start assigning the IPs to your LAN clients and it will become a mess. So that's why I'm telling you. Now again, you need to go on your DNS forwarder. So make sure these options are not selected here. Click on DNS resolver. So uncheck this because I do not want my firewall will resolve this DNS entries, because I have already DNS servers in place in my lab environment. So that's fine. And now it's time to reboot your firewall. So here click on diagnostics and just reboot this. Click on submit so that my firewall start working properly. Now my firewall get rebooted and let me log in into again. So here just enter your username and password here. Click on sign in and you guys can see that this is the new this is the new interface here for the pfSense. So first of all, you guys need to see what is my incoming traffic, is my gateways are up and running. So how you guys can do these settings inside this firewall. So just close this. So first first of all, you guys can see that this is WAN interface. So in my WAN interface 192.168.100.155, this is the IP, and second it's the IPv6 on my WAN interface. So first of all, let me change this. So I do not want IPv6 on my WAN interface. So click on save, apply. So just wait for, like, it is refreshing. Now click on pfSense and now you guys can see that both these IPs are IPv4, which is good in a small environment. If you have a big infrastructure company, the companies also use like IPv6 and everything, but in small or medium type companies, they will use IPv4. They will get a static IP from the, like, ISP, like Airtel, Vodafone or Reliance or Tata. So they will get the static IPs on their firewall. Now if you want to put a static IP on your WAN interface, so how you guys can do that? So click on again WAN and here you guys can see that IPv4 configuration. So this is DHCP. So whatever my WAN interface connected to any router or anything else, so this is getting the IP from there. But in professional environments, in companies, we will generally put the static IPs here on the front end of our firewall. So here I am going to select IPv4 and this is static IPv4. Here you guys need to mention your static IPv4. So what I am going to do is 192.168.100.25. So this is the IP I am going to use. This is the subnet you want to give. So this is 24-bit of subnet. So subnet is 255.255.255.0. So upstream gateway is like nothing. So that's fine. Click on save and click on apply changes. So again go on your pfSense and here you guys can see that I have manually selected a IPv4 on my pfSense WAN interface. So this is the static IP. So now I want to see what is the graph, what is the incoming and outgoing traffic on my firewall. So if you want to see that, so click on this plus button and here you guys need to select the traffic graph. Click on plus and this will start, you will see that this will start giving the information how much traffic going outside or incoming on your firewall. So this will give the overview that how many bits and how many data is going outside and inside your firewall. Now I want to see what is blocking on my firewall. So if anybody hitting my public IP, so is firewall blocking anything? To see these logs, so click on this plus button, and here you guys need to select firewall logs. So this is like, you guys can see that the my WAN interface is blocking these IPs to connect my LAN network. So this is the end of this video, guys. So again we are going to play some more stuffs on this firewall. So and we are going to net our IPs to the netscaler, how our netscaler gateway will work with this firewall. So if you want to see that stuff, just stay connected with the CTX Cloud, subscribe my channel and share with your friends. Thank you guys.